The power inherent in God's voice is evident in the way it shapes history, influences individuals, and conveys His divine will. This exploration will delve into the various aspects of God's powerful voice, illustrated through biblical verses and stories. From the very beginning, the power of God's voice is demonstrated in creation. Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 states, "And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light." This verse highlights the creative power of God's voice, capable of bringing the universe into existence with a mere command. Each act of creation in Genesis is initiated by God's spoken word, underscoring the profound and dynamic force of His voice. The power of God's voice is further exemplified in the giving of the Ten Commandments. In Exodus chapter 19 verse 19, as Moses ascends Mount Sinai, the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder. Then, in Exodus chapter 20 verse 1, God spoke all these words, delivering the commandments that would form the foundation of moral and legal order for the Israelites. This event illustrates how God's voice conveys not only power but also law and order. God's voice also demonstrates its power in calling individuals to their divine missions. For instance, in the story of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 10 records, "The Lord came and stood there, calling as at the other times, 'Samuel, Samuel.' Then Samuel said, 'Speak, for your servant is listening.'" Samuel's prophetic career begins with this powerful and direct call, showing how God's voice can initiate significant spiritual journeys. The power of God's voice is often depicted in nature, symbolizing His sovereignty over creation. Psalm chapter 29 verse 4 describes, "The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic." The psalm portrays God's voice as thunderous, capable of breaking cedars and shaking the wilderness. This imagery conveys the awe-inspiring and formidable power of God's spoken word. In the New Testament, the voice of God continues to manifest its power, particularly in affirming Jesus' identity. At the Transfiguration, Matthew chapter 17 verse 5 recounts, "While he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, 'This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him.'" This divine proclamation not only affirms Jesus' divine sonship but also underscores the authority and power behind God's voice. The resurrection of Lazarus is another powerful example. In John chapter 11 verse 43, Jesus calls out, "Lazarus, come out." And Lazarus, who had been dead for 4 days, emerges from the tomb. This miracle, performed through the power of Jesus' voice, demonstrates the life-giving power inherent in divine speech and serves as a testament to the authority over life and death. The voice of God also has the power to bring about transformation and repentance. In Acts chapter 9 verses 4 to 5, Saul hears a voice on the road to Damascus, saying, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" This encounter with the risen Christ transforms Saul from a persecutor of Christians to Paul, one of Christianity's greatest apostles. This dramatic change highlights the transformative power of God's voice. Moreover, the voice of God provides guidance and reassurance to His people. In Isaiah chapter 30 verse 21, it is written, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you, saying, 'This is the way. Walk in it.'" This verse illustrates how God's voice acts as a guide, offering direction and ensuring that His followers remain on the right path. The Book of Revelation presents a final, powerful depiction of God's voice. In Revelation chapter 1 verse 10, John hears a loud voice like a trumpet, before receiving a vision of Christ. The powerful voice heralds the revelation of future events, signifying its role in unveiling divine mysteries and ultimate truths. In conclusion, the power of God's voice is a profound and recurring theme in the Bible. From creation and the establishment of law to the calling of prophets and the affirmation of Jesus' divinity, God's voice is depicted as a formidable force that commands, creates, transforms, and guides. Whether manifesting through thunderous proclamations or gentle whispers, the voice of God remains a powerful testament to His omnipotence and divine authority. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and like and share.